Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India. On this day, May 10th, 2021, Monday, title being Civil Field Engineering COVID-19 Designs, Construction Methods, Contracts, and AnnexSL Organizations, Communications, Coordination, Quality. Why Big Bang Quality? COVID-19 I have added because it's a very urgent issue. Whole throughout world as well as in our country. Our country is very much in trouble. To an extent, COVID-19 is concerned, quality is always a concern here. It has been a concern for long. So the stock is same as usual, and you can see that this files certifications. It's not for me, it's for thousands of engineers. Same way, it's another certificate. Certificate I'm showing for reference that why no quality if certificates we do have. And health safety issue which is linked to COVID. We have no problems for our lives. Our lives are very cheap. We can see these days. We count every day thousands and thousands losing their lives, and you can say millions contracting COVID-19, which is real fact, which is no imagination, fact of life, fact that we have been facing. It's really very much annoying, but beyond our control yet. COVID-19 is beyond control. No one knows what shall happen, but it is beyond control. We cover HSE, that is called Health, Safety, Environment, and also ergonomics, which is a supporting form to that. The basic is health, safety, environment, or safety, health, and environment. Now, because here we are talking of COVID-19, H is more important, health is more important. So I have put health, followed by safety, and followed by environment. When health of whole world is concerned, it's not in my country or your country, but also in all other countries. Health is a question mark. We cannot take it lightly, and we should not take it lightly, because that shall be wrong. If you take it lightly, that shall be wrong at all. We cannot take it lightly because it's question of survival, world survival. Quality everywhere, we say. Yes, it should be quality everywhere, but what about this COVID? If we don't have health, we cannot work. That's also true. If we do not have health, we cannot work. That is fact of life. But can we otherwise work? That's also a question mark. I could not understand this subject long back, HSC, but it's basic, it's very much preliminary, and even though we do not give a name to this one, despite that, it works. Without health, I can't stand, I can't walk, I can't eat, I can't work, I can't think. If I am short of health, if my health is not good, I can't talk to you. If I am feeling pain, I can't do anything. Of course, there is determination, there is willpower. Willpower is something else. Of course, it supports human being, but point remains that does willpower work everywhere? Common citizens of world require health. And we have a subject, health, safety, environment, which is very much relevant in today's time. Till now we used it for general life, for work. Means we should work with health. If we don't have health, we cannot work. If I am not safe, I cannot work. If my environment is not suitable, I cannot work. So it was considered like that. And how to energize yourself, how to use your energy for existence, for work. As I say, ergonomics, maybe you heard this subject, ergonomics, which is very much important. In this case, I can say ergonomics is that part of life which is a kind of supporting system. Ergonomic support, you can say. I can say support rather than saying something else. COVID-19, an attacker, I can say attacker. It is an attacker. Bharat in trouble. Bharat, India in trouble. See a shot, not available. Who is responsible? So I'm back. I'm bringing to you this file again. I've taken a few minutes for this. The file is bringing to you. I made a mistake, is it? Wait, I made a mistake, I think so. I made a mistake, right? Oh God, I did. So I close this, or just a minute, can I close this? Can be two PDFs. Just let me see this correctly. So that's correct file, right? I say ergonomic support. When I'm talking of ergonomic support, this is something to do with that. COVID-19 attacker, 50% world infections in India, medicines, Bharat India in trouble. Bharat India in trouble. Oxygen short in supply. Hospitals not meeting a requirement. Beds not available. I think I made some mistakes. No problem. By chance I'm wasting your time. Let me correct this mistake. I don't know mistakes here. Just a minute please. I made a mistake, sorry for that. Because of spellings I was just making it beds not available, you can say. Beds not available to meet demands, requirements. Short in supply oxygen, Bharat India in trouble. An attacker, powerful attacker, world infection in India, medicines, Bharat India trouble. You can say oxygen short in supply, hospitals not meeting the requirements, beds not available to meet demands, doctors working too hard, nurses working too hard, ventilators, infections millions daily, cremation grounds, deaths. What about poor? Does government exist? What we should do? Test all them cheaply, isolate those infected shall be survived. Okay, this is what I say. I'll put this off and then print out again. Sorry gentlemen, because this is very much improvising and I will take time so that we talk reality. That's important one. If we talk reality, that's important. So file is coming to you now. Yes, it is come. So this is ergonomic support. We're talking about this also. You may say COVID-19 is very, you can say, powerful attacker. 50% world infections in India. Medicines now is medicines question. Same way, Bharat India in trouble. Of course, big trouble. Bharat India is not small trouble. A country of 130 crore people in trouble. And this trouble, how far it will go, nobody can say with confirmation, with confidence. Today state is different. Oxygen in short in supply everywhere. Even Supreme Court of this country, Bharat India, has constituted one task force to take care of oxygen distribution, because our system, our government of this country could not explain, could not submit to Supreme Court its plans, its systematic arrangements. It failed. Oxygen is a big requirement, only requirement. You can just save people, at least those who cannot breathe. Hospitals are not enough. We know people are more, hospitals are too less. This is well-known fact. Even if you deny this fact, reality will not change. Hospitals now every day, about 1 million people are actually, expecting to be imparted some treatment temporarily for their health. They don't find beds in hospitals. which is our fault, which is our weakness to handle this COVID-19. Beds are also not available in some hospitals. They have added beds intermediately to other beds. I was reading one news regarding Holy Family hospitals in Delhi, that they are not refusing patients but trying to adjust them by inserting certain beds between beds. And this is not this hospital, generally all do, but they don't want to take responsibility of shortage of oxygen, because this is not job of people. I read one post yesterday by some good citizen, engineer Amit, who wrote that to procure oxygen is not my job, to procure hospital is not my job, to arrange beds is not my job. My job is to pay taxes, and I am paying. It's your job, government, to arrange health for people. Oxygen you have to arrange, hospitals you have to arrange, beds you have to arrange, and whatever is required, medicines, etc. you have to arrange. All observation is welcome. This is what citizens should do, because purpose of government is that government has to serve people, and if government doesn't serve people, there is no use of government. Doctors working too hard indeed, and of course nurses working too hard, and associated health workers along with doctors and nurses working too hard day and night without even caring for rest, without even caring for food. And I have seen that they are not even sleeping in bed when they are in hospitals. There are somebody is sleeping on floor, somebody is sleeping only on table by putting head on table. And it's happening like as if this is not a country. It has been converted to unknown noun, you can say, unknown noun. It's not a country-like situation. I should say here, engineering failed, health engineering failed. Health engineering I'm calling it, because as an engineer, or even if you're not an engineer, you are a politician, you are a concerned citizen, you have to worry about your country. And if you can successfully worry about your country, you can also worry about your nation, your internation, your world, your others. But if I cannot take my own care, how do others think, or can they expect that I take their care? My you can say moral responsibility is to take care of my society first, and if I can do that, then I have to extend help to those who aspire some help. I'm not going to criticize anything here what's happening. Everybody knows that. These points I have written for reference only, that how we can say what to do. If you go to end, question is, shall we survive? What does it mean? I'm not saying that COVID shall collapse our country. It's not going to happen. But shall we survive to same state as we were before? If suppose we lose millions of people due to COVID-19, it's a question of great shame onto us if you lose millions of people in this regard. Okay, though even you lose one person, it's very important. It's very, insulting even if you lose one person. But we have already lost more, around 2.5 lakhs or more than 2.35 lakhs, according to government statement, government publication. But I don't accept that. I say if I multiply this by a factor of 2.5, I may get probable figure. Means 2.5, for example, it is 2.5 to 2.5. You may say around 6 lakhs people might have lost their lives. That's also a fact. And now this is a question of debate, because I cannot confirm, I cannot produce my evidence that so many people have died. But government says 2.5, approximately I'm saying 2.5 lakhs are going to be 2.5 lakhs within a couple of days. So many numbers have gone from our country to heaven. Okay, but I apply coefficient of 2.5 to reach to realities, to some layer of this can be 2.5, this can be 2, this can be 3, it depends. 2.5 is just an assumption. So around 6, 5 to 6 you can say, around 5 to 6 lakhs people, or 0.5 to 0.6 million people, according to my assessment, or to you can say general assessment, or to many other people's assessment around world, have left for their heavenly abode. That's a big consideration, big question mark here. Then we say, as far as infections are concerned, I usually say that it is million daily. Let us assume million daily, because government itself is saying 400,000, maybe 500,000 of some time. So keeping on safer side and keeping abreast conditions in our country, and keeping abreast what politics is doing now all over the world. UK tried to hide its statistics, its data. America tried to hide it. Europe tried to hide it. China tried to hide it. Every country tried to hide reality. But you can hide reality, you can hide data. You can't change a fact. You can pass fake information to people. It doesn't solve any purpose. That's my point. Because it's not question of economy first. It's not question of science. It's not question of something else where something is secret. It's question of health, world health, nation's health. If people are not healty, if health system is unsound, you may hide data. It will not serve any purpose, because if you hide data, rumors move. Like you may consider my statement as a rumor also. Oh, he is lying. When government is saying it's 400,000 something, he should accept. When government is saying 2.5 lakhs people lost their lives, he should accept. Yes, you are right. I agree with that. You are right. Maybe I spread fake news because I have interest in that probably, but I don't have any interest in this. I'm not newspaper. I'm not political party. I'm not politician. I am nothing. I don't do anything. I'm not concerned with all those factors. I am concerned with health of people, what we see, what we feel, that something is happening behind scenes which should not have happened. I'm not blaming anyone, because blaming will not solve any problem. Problem is we made some mistake. We made some mistakes, and those mistakes were that if we are having time, if I am given some time, for example, I used to appear in examinations in my studies, during my studies, and we used to appear in examination in journal papers for about 3 hours a day, each paper, and in designs paper we have to appear for 6 to 8 hours a day. Those 3 hours were enough for attempting certain questions, and if we do not write answers to those questions, either we do not know, I don't know answers, or I don't care for that. So my 3 hours in each paper shall go without any yielding, without any result. That time of 3 hours or 6 hours is very important from student viewpoint, because student has to write examination. Point is here, if I waste those 3 hours where I have to write my answers, means I am in some problem there. If I am not able to answer in those 3 hours, my time is over, and there is no question of any concession on that. If I write all answers, or if I write no answer or one answer, marks would tell. But if time has gone, same thing, we have examination time since March 2020, and this examination time till March was about 12 months or 13 months. What did we do? What did we do? That's a question mark. What did we do? Okay, you can't immediately increase doctors, that's okay. You can't augment numbers of nurses, that's also okay. You can augment only to some percentage only by enhancing their working hours or giving some normal training or very specific training to those people who are not nurses. But equipment must be there, ventilators, oxygen, and what hospitals could be enhanced, temporary hospitals could be arranged, just like China did, just like Europe did, and just like many other countries did. But we did not do anything. There are some requirements of hospitals we did not fulfill. There's some requirement of beds increase in hospitals, we did not do it. And if you do at 11th hour, it's no use. Oxygen, we claim that we have plenty of oxygen. Okay, it's fine. Congratulations that you have plenty of oxygen. If you have plenty of oxygen, why hospitals are suffering? That's the point. This means you may have plenty of oxygen statements or your statements are fake. Then you can say distribution is a problem. It's one and same thing. If you have oxygen and if it's unable to reach to hospitals, this means this does not exist. We don't have. Bharat, our nation, our motherland, our fatherland, India has been in trouble, COVID-19 trouble. This fact cannot be denied, and somebody deny these facts, that person is having no mind. I can say I have added this word ergonomics support. Ergonomics has many meanings as far as safety is concerned, health is concerned. But here I am saying ergonomics of public, ergonomics of government has been in question. We have people, 130 crores or 1300 million people in this world, in our country. You can say we don't have guts. We don't have guts to raise our questions to those who depend on our taxes. We pay taxes for what? Citizens pay tax for safety, they pay tax for security, they pay taxes for health and other general facilities. Everybody knows this. Now, energies of our country, I can say, energies that we developed or we had since January 2020 since March 2020 to same time 2021. Country had ergonomics, energy. People had energy. Government had energy. But those energies gone waste. We allowed these energies to go waste. Gone out means we did not care. We did not preserve that energy and we did not use that energy. I am involving this word ergonomics. What do I understand by ergonomics is this is quantity, a state of quantity, quantity of quantity, you can say, quantity of it's this energy. Quantity of this energy is a potential for ergonomics. I can say, we say economics. Economics relates to wealth of a country. Wealth of a country, and ergonomics relates to energy of a country, energy of its people, energy of state, energy of our system, infrastructure, and energy of individuals. Where was that? It is a support. It must be a support for whole nation. 1 year period in current scenario is very long period, very, very long. If I am given 1 year time to study, probably I may pass 10 subjects, 5 subjects of engineering. Depends how intelligent I am, how fast I can study, how clearly how can I study. It depends on that. It depends on that, but question again arise in same manner. Why we could not do anything? If facts are revealed in now that our nation did not concern about resorting to steps to fight with attacker, powerful attacker. That's a fact. Why we did not do that? Answer is having overconfidence. If I assume everything is okay, if I assume everything is okay, shall my assumption replace facts? I answer no. If I imagine everything is fine, shall everything be fine? I say no. We have to audit, we have to make sure, we have to even now make sure whatever we do, it should happen. If it doesn't happen and we keep that in past and forget it, this means we shall certainly get adverse impact from that. And that's what we are getting. Even a child can answer this question. Why don't we have hospitals? It doesn't take 10 years to construct a hospital. In emergency, even temporary hospitals can be established. In emergency, whatever work can be done could be done. We have no shortage of engineers. We have no shortage of other professionals. I think we have potential. We have wealth of resources. We have everything with us. We have every product with us that could add support this system, this scenario of this COVID-19. But you see, people are lazy, people are self-oriented. Government says they will take care. This happened, I'm telling you. Government thought people take care, they shall take care. And people thought government shall take care. And the result is neither people nor government took care. Neither people nor government took care. People thought, oh, it shall go away, there is nothing. COVID is nothing, it shall go away. That's common concept. People think that way. I don't have COVID, it can't come to me. I'm telling you facts because I talk to many people. I try to collect much information on this. And I've seen people, egoistic. Some people. Rigidity within those individuals doesn't help nation. If somebody doesn't want to wear mask, question is, what is the reason? Yes, there could be some reason for that person. But maybe it's the statement, oh, see, I don't want to use mask because I am very strong and COVID-19 cannot touch me. Yes, you are right. You are super COVID-19, how can it touch you? Of course you are super COVID because you will spread it. Rather than resorting to protection, COVID-19 is going to catch you and then you will catch people. So it's right, you are super COVID-19. I can say everybody who does not or who did not use precautionary measures, use of PPEs, etc., or taking other measures which are beneficial to body to raise its internal immunity and external immunity, those people who did not cooperate, they are super spreaders of COVID-19. But it doesn't mean anything now. I can speak anything, you can hear anything, it doesn't matter because question that was raised to us through COVID-19, that I am here, think of me. When COVID-19 came, it said explicitly, I am here. I am announcing that I am here. If you can encounter me, but you can't even encounter me because I am not visible to you. I cannot tell my identity, that is not allowed. I am a secret functionary, but for me I am not secret. I can see you, all people of world and public in India, Bharat. I can see you, I could see you, I saw you. But it's like a soul, it's like a ghost. Ghost can see us, but we can't see ghost. Same thing applied here. COVID-19 concealed itself, but we could not conceal ourselves because we do not understand anything. There is no leadership in saying, "See, it doesn't affect me." If some leader says, whatever branch of leader I am saying, it doesn't affect me. Unfortunately, what happens in our country, those who are very well educated, those who are in sciences and in engineering, I think they are best educated in the world. But they are only educated, text educated, theory educated. They are not life oriented. They are not life educated. Lessons in life are very important. Those engineers and doctors, I can simply say that they are not life educated. That's the only point that defeated us. Life orientation, life education is much more relevant these days than degrees and diplomas. If we had educated people of life, like our government ministers, like our scientists and engineers, we would have not seen what is shown to us now by COVID-19. In engineering, we call plans. Without plans, without scheduling, we cannot move even on one activity, that is engineering. And I say, life itself is engineering. It's engineering based. If we don't understand our base, we cannot do anything. That's also a part of life. If today I am talking to you about this subject, not because some book told me this or taught me this, it's because I collect information, I think, and then talk to you, and this everybody has to do, and they do it. I'm not saying only I think, no, many people think, but only difference is somebody thinks but keeps silence. That's a problem. We think but we maintain silence, and that's not answer to our problem. But because I'm saying COVID-19 is a powerful attacker. Yes, so far it's offender, it's attacker, but it's no entity for us. We don't even know what does it mean, what does it do, how does it happen. Yes, scientists and doctors express in theories which they only know because having expertise. But I'm talking as a normal citizen of a normal state. If I had that charge, say, if I was given that charge that you take care, we don't want to see effect of future COVIDs. I did not find any person in our country in that position. Not even a single person was seen who used to talk of. Everybody used to say, "Oh, it has gone, we have defeated it. Oh, it has gone that time." So if you say something has gone, there should be some logic behind that. There should be some expression behind that. On what basis I am saying that this has gone? This means either it's my foolishness, I don't understand, or how can I say something has gone when I did not see it? Problem was that, as usual I say in routine talks, that we are a sleeping society. And in fact we are. I can't deny this fact that we are a sleeping society. We are a sleeping society. I must accept this fact. It's not only that, it's a sleeping society. I should say we are a non-serious society. If you see my past videos or my writings, I would have written we are a sleeping society, we are non-serious society. Now evidences have come in. A country of 134 people, 1300 million people, even not even 10 people out of that thought about this issue for 12 months. Means, children, they enjoy in school and colleges. We are that. In Hindi we call tali bajao, clap, like this, clapping, clapping, or kindle some candle, kindle, KINDLE I'm talking, or you can say put candle on fire, or there is there's a very very small reservoir of 5 centimeter or 4 centimeter diameter, having a kind of 3 centimeter 2 centimeter depth, made of clay or something else. We call it diva in our country. That small, put something in that and kindle it or burn it. This means diva jalao, tali bajao, or some tray, some thali or some pan of steel or metal, ring that. In that kind of situation we pass through. Shankh bajao, horn bajao. This was actually required to appreciate work of medical health workers, but people took it differently, and there was no ill meaning in that. You have to welcome your workers, but it was taken differently. It's like that, in spiritual world, in soul world, there is always, you can say, cover up. Means there is no logic. There exists no logic in that, particularly in faith, when we say faith world. So these were repetitions of faith activities. They thought if people do like this, or use firecrackers, or say go COVID go, means we did not want to do anything scientifically. We just wanted to immerse ourselves in illogical world. Because I say go, you go. COVID shall be fearful. When you say go, COVID go, and it will go. Yes, we wasted time like that. Okay, we did that. I am not going to object it. You enjoyed. You enjoyed when people were dying. And still today people are enjoying when people are dying. There is no difference. Difference is maturity. We are still children. If I clap, I say thali bajao or do this, it will not go, I know. But even then, I try to keep a mask on myself in addition to COVID mask, to express happiness. I don't understand what's happiness in that. How can COVID go by such acts? COVID can go only by some. Either it shall not go. I can't say. Actually, my statement is wrong. COVID cannot go by myself. I cannot say COVID will go because I did not call it and I don't even know where it is. If I know its seat, its location, I can catch hold of it and say, get out. He'll laugh on this. Can I say, get out? I can't say, get out. Never. Because it's much about me. It's much about. There are thousands and lakhs of sadhus in our country, Maulvis in our country, monks in our country, and priests in our country. I don't think there is any dearth of these people who always used to be full people in one way or other spiritually. But where are these people? Can't they handle COVID-19? My question is again same. Something we do not know. And these all religious people have been exposed. These religious people have been exposed. Our praying buildings have been exposed that these are only buildings. Temples or mosque or the synagogue or church or whatever. These are only structures. These don't have energies. These don't have ergonomical powers. Just to keep yourself satisfied. Yes, I was in group of prayer and I prayed. That's only what it is. Of course, I'm telling you all this because everything is connected to each other. There is no way it's not connected. Everything is connected, and we have to understand that. When we talk something like COVID, many points come in, and we have to understand these points. So when I say it's a powerful attacker, when I say powerful, it's not earth power. It's, you can say, equivalent to God's power. It has been applied to all places in the world. This powerful attacker. Of course, there is no uniformity in time. It started from Far East and went to Middle East or Gulf countries, then go to Europe and of course to America and like Africa. It's been working its job brilliantly, I should say. That COVID system or COVID army took its position in 1 year time, and it devastated many countries like USA, England, many countries in Europe, and now our beautiful area. It has started establishing itself. It's such an attacker, we even can't counter it. We don't have that power. If it's a powerful attacker, we should have a superpower attacker, but we don't know what is superpower. Only superpower is in our souls. What should we do? That I can't solve, I can't answer this. I only know we are in trouble, and our community of engineers, we should be very perfect, we should be powerful, we should be dynamic, we should speak something. It is unfortunate that we have sleeping engineers to an extent. COVID-19 is concerned. This means our engineers do not value health. They do not value safety of nation. That's also true. Though it's a part of engineering that we should take care of, HSC. But because we have evidenced now, even if I used to speak like this or write like this, people used to mind it. I least bother you mind it. It's question of national health. It's question of health of 130 crore people. If you mind something, mind, no problem. I always used to stress, where is testing? Still testing is not done. Is it not a failure? It is direct failure. Just to save money on testing, you did not test. That's a fact. Just to save money from testing, which could be in crores, in billions, we did not conduct tests. Whatever tests have been conducting, say 22%, that is only applicable to those who could spend themselves their money, or maybe some people could go to government hospitals. But from government itself, there was no initiative that the testers should go to, sample collectors should go to all people, particularly those people who are not able to afford 1600 rupees or 3000 rupees for tests. I am talking of those people, poor people. Out of 22% tests so far, in a period of more than 1 year, we are trying to find out what is our infection number and what is our, you can say, whatever number of deaths. We are trying to protect ourselves from saying that, see, we have saved so many people. Who has saved so many people? What did you do to save them? It's only data you are saying. You did not see anybody. You rather tried to kill people by not resorting to any measure. So do not say that you saved people. Everywhere people are being saved throughout the world, and nobody is saving them. When you provide treatment, they are energized and they continue. That's all, not more than that. So we should stop saying that we saved so many people. In fact, we did not save anybody. We put them to death. That roadmap. That fact must be understood. So we are in trouble. Trouble of what? Trouble of short in supply oxygen, trouble of not meeting the requirements of hospitals, trouble of beds not available to meet demands, doctors and nurses working too hard, infections million a day minimum, not less than this. And you know our cremation grounds, shamshan or graveyard. I never saw so efficient burning of bodies in those areas. Extraordinary. You'll find 10 times more dead bodies every day when you compare to normal times. Strange. People encountered me when I used to say them in my local area, use mask, and don't shout like that. Because if you concentrate on yourself, you have to take care of all these PPEs. There are some people who say, I got injected. And that person should also take care first, because injection is no permanent solution. This is just a blockade so that virus doesn't move through you. And if it moves through you, certainly you will become patient. Well, time is different. Infections are increasing. Already 30 crore people have been tested, and infections are, I think, around 22 crores. And out of these 22 crores, more than, you can say, about now, ratio-wise, 20 to 25% range of those after test coming out patients, which is very much higher figure now in this situation. In Delhi itself, half to 1/3 of those tested were exposed patients or positive. Yesterday I heard 23% has come down now to 23% from 33%. I can't call it and come down. It's because of, stoppage of public activities, or you can call that lockdown, or stoppage. That could be reason, but that is not solution. When these people come out, they again, in fact, this will happen. And we can say daily toll is rather what government says. I multiply that one to 2.5, for example. So this is 10,000 daily, and in 3 months it shall become 3, you can say 9 lakhs. 10,000 daily means 300,000 monthly, and 300,000 means in 3 months it is about 9, you can say 9 lakhs, 0.9 million, and of course 0.2 we have 0.2 million, so it shall be more than 1 million. So that calculation, or you can say forecast by some institution, international institution, cannot be called wrong. We can estimate that people, I think it's even more. It shall be more than what I'm saying. So we have to be very serious, but we are not. Poor person cannot afford this. Forget testing. How shall that person test? Who shall pay for this? If government tests, fine, that person should be called. People of COVID should go to all the streets or homes which have not been so far, exchange their some values. We have to take care of health system. That we must take. Poor cannot spend money for testing. Poor cannot spend money for isolation. Poor cannot spend money to eat very good food or liquids. This capacity only engineers have, and freely available with all those riches who are rich at any point. Now what we should do? Does government exist? That's the question. We should do, as individual I can say, as citizen I can say, or resident I can say, we should resort to very strictly wearing of masks, wearing of goggles, and wearing of other clothes that can be taken up. All this can go as usual. I'm not wasting your time. I think we should do all this. We should test all. The government has to change its policy, and we should test everybody, at least to know what is status of the stock. That's a very important point. Status of the stock. I don't know why people are not taking interest in activizing COVID-19 information. Your information is not explained. In the health sector, if I say no, I don't have fever, but I have fever, can I sleep? Can I recover? I say no. I have to know my fever. I have to know everything about that. Only then I can get some medicine through doctor. This is what we did not do. We did not do, and I consider that it was a failure if I cannot do it. Now, even 21 to 25 people are infected. Let us assume 20% only. 20% people in our country is a question mark, because 20% means about 20% means 26 crores, 260 million. That is just expansion of our question. It can be more, but let us say 25 crore, 26 crore people are actually infected, those not known. And about kids also, there's a serious issue. I read on news that kids do not know what's happening to them. They may be infected, but they cannot give any symptoms. So it's very important issue. We have to think of now all those children of school going age, that they don't have any COVID. We have to care something as such. Some mouses may enjoy some areas where they can sit inside or outside and enjoy nature. Testing has not been done, this question mark. We shall survive, that's another question mark. I can't say we shall not survive. We shall survive certainly, but we shall survive not to that level as we did. If we lose millions of people due to COVID, I think this shock shall remain in us for decades to come. I can say, it's a fault of ourselves. There's no argument on that, because there is no politics in this. If somebody is gone, it is gone. It's a very important point that we shall survive or we shall not survive. Very, very important point, and we should worry about this. When I said ergonomics, this means whatever work I do physically, I should keep certain balance in my body so that energy is used with little quantity, less quantity, and I should keep my body fit, healthy. I should be trained only to that extent which is described, but not more than that. We have energies here, everybody has energies. With that energy we have to think and find solution. It's also true that we cannot defend ourselves. That's also a point. Why to defend when you can do something? Well, again I say, I'm not to criticize someone, but we have to take care everywhere. That's the point here, we should take care of ourselves and we should take care of everybody else. Otherwise you can say it's only a question mark. We should take care of everybody. Now, just staying at one point doesn't solve anything. I'm used to say thinking and thinking and thinking. Continuous thinking without any application is also useless. If I want to find some solution, I have to think, and application has to be made. That's very important point. I am always with this, not otherwise. We were at conscious controls. We were there. Construction controls we talked of, and we also talked of something like that. We talked of also here, I understand, interface management, yes. We talked of that one. I'll close this file now for first time. We called file, I'll close it. We'll take up later on. Okay, then quality, okay. Now, this talk of interface management, I'm not expert of this, but I'm just referring it. This paper written by Kian Cheng, George, Richard, and Ian Galville. And this is small document. Of course, it's good one. How is you can say this interface, what we call about interface. Article meaning interface clearly tells if there are two facets, they interact together. There should be some relation between them, and that relation should be working relation, that should be functional relation, and that should exist. In construction world, we find different terms, of course, but interface can be replaced, there's no problem. I generally call in construction coordination, communication. What is coordination and what is communication herein? That point is very important to be understood. We say construction and controls are very intelligent sections for successful completion of a project. This is very, very simple. It says design may be considered oversafe for optimum, but real construction involves actual expenses, contract time, and reputation. It should be motto of an organization to apply good controls on project, to keep online on schedule or planning and actual path of controls. Now, where controls can be, you can say, used or controls can be included, that's progress, cost escalation, time, budget, quality assurance, engineering and safety, risk covering and delays recoveries. These are all integrated divisions which should move in unison to achieve project delivery target. A well-designed project could be jeopardized during construction phase from budgetary viewpoint should it not be given due controls applications properly. We talked of schedules, we talked of mobilization, we talked of materials, we talked of manpower, we talked of equipment, procurement, physical construction context, we talked of is very important. Physical construction, contract management, construction project management, and that's what we talked of. That's the point here. Now, because I'm talking of interface tool, we're talking of something, you can say, I can say coordination. I can say coordination. Why not? What's wrong with that? It's good one, coordination. You may say interface. What says? This paper aims to establish and clarify close relationships between interface management of organization, IM, and to emerging construction, you can say techniques or philosophies, that is lean construction and agile project management. Applications of these two approaches face greater challenges from a project complexity. IM, that's interface management, managing and controlling interrelationship or interactions among elements of complex project systems, can help augment these two strategic approaches, and facilitate implementation of related techniques and methods in dynamic built environment. This paper first briefly introduces new concept of IM and its benefits to construction management. Now this IM is interface management, I can call it coordination management, and you can say what's wrong with that. Then it reviews lean construction and APM respectively. During review, this paper simultaneously investigates benefits that IM can offer to these two approaches in regard to philosophies and technique. So in conclusion, it is assessed that IM can greatly improve implementation of lean production and APM in consideration for So we have to talk of coordination here. Interface is there, but it's same thing as coordination. Let us try to understand what does it mean. In this case, interface, and there's a lean production, lean construction, agile project management, multidisciplinary team, complexity. Now let us say we are going to details now study. It's very important one, detailed study of this. How does it work for me? That's the point here. Let's put a fan now. Let me say today, traditional ways of performing and organizing construction processes face unprecedented challenges. Growing competition forces construction organizations to rethink their construction processes for improving productivity, quality and efficiency. Productivity, quality and efficiency. Since 90s, 1980s, some manufacturing initiated management philosophies and techniques which we call lean and agile production. These have been gradually introduced to construction industry. Gradually. These techniques are expected to make construction as efficient as production. Construction as efficient as production, and which is, you can say, is very, very difficult because nature of both, you can say, are different. These new techniques are expected to make construction as efficient as production. Means production is efficient, we consider, and construction is not efficient. Maybe because production is automated, and involvement of human resources is, you can say, much lesser in scale to what is involved in construction. Recently, Agile project management, we named APM, achieving considerable success in information systems, you can say industry, information system industry, became a cutting edge project organization approach. It is argued that APM is applicable to construction through significant hurdles to its adoption in construction phase. And you can say construction can be viewed as a kind of production. Construction can be viewed as a kind of production. However, its peculiarities make it much harder to be managed and controlled than factory. You can say construction can be viewed as a kind of production. However, its peculiarities make it much harder to be managed and controlled than factory. Manufacturing. Especially tremendous project complexities and uncertainties. Contribute to this issue. Applying lean agile techniques in construction faces further difficulties. Lean and agile, both not experts at managing or organizing complex interrelationship in project systems, having you can say limited their capability and performance in construction organization to some degree. Interface management or interface coordination, you may say, mainly dealing with complex interrelationship or interactions among various project entities such as people, building components, subsystems, equipment, etc. can bridge gap and facilitate application of lean and agile to a great extent. New concept IM is introduced first. New concept is interface management. IM is relatively new topic in construction industry. It is necessary to establish a basic understanding of this concept before discussing connections between IM and two other approaches. What is IM? What is IM? IM, which is named Interface Management, has been a missing link of project organization for a long time. Currently, it's not widely known what IM means. It's just about 16 years back. Currently, it's not widely known what IM means in construction and what scope is covered by IM. Now, in following several construction related IM definitions were introduced to clarify these problems. In offshore construction industry, offshore, which means in platforms or in sea, IM is defined as management or organization of common boundaries. Organization of common boundaries between people, you see, systems, equipment or concepts. In civil construction, it was offshore we explained, in civil construction provides two definitions by Wildman for IM. First is management of communication. Management of communication and how to organize communication, then coordination. Communication and coordination and responsibility across a common boundary. Responsibility across a common boundary between two organizations. Between two organizations, you can say phases or physical entities which are interdependent. This is, you can say, organization of communication or coordination and responsibility across a common boundary between two organizations or phases or physical entities which are interdependent. Second is managing problems that often occur among people, departments and disciplines rather than within project team itself. I repeat, second is organizing or managing problems that often occur among people, departments and disciplines rather than within project team itself. IM includes improvement of quality of physical connections. Improvement of quality of physical connections between building components. Physical connections between building components. Reduction of project conflicts. Among project participants through planning and close coordination and optimization of work. So I say, we can say physical connection between building components, they are to improve quality and close coordination, planning and close coordination and optimization of workplace organization including people, resources and environment. Now due to lack of this interface, poorly coordinated and controlled boundary conditions. Let's say poorly coordinated and let's say roughly can say Various interface issues, poorly coordinated control boundary conditions among projects entities cause various interface issues. What is coordinated? Well, coordination is poor. You will find interface issues, various issues such as error in designs because we missed coordination. There could be errors in design. There could be mismatching parts. Those parts must match, but they don't. Then systems performance. Systems performance failures. Coordination difficulties and construction conflicts. There are so many issues. There was, let's say, you may say no compatibility. I'm not using a technical file, but it happens everywhere. So, design error, mismatched parts, system performance. So we can say failures of coordination difficulties and construction conflicts. These issues not only impede smooth delivery of construction projects but also hinder industrialization of construction. That's point. These issues not only impede smooth delivery of construction projects but also hinder industrialization of construction, and that's a very important point. Interface now starts to catch attention from both industry and academia and shall gradually become a critical area of project organization. There are already some projects that have achieved great success by paying attention to interface. We can say interface now starts to attract attention from both industry and academia and shall gradually become a critical area of project organization. It's already some projects that have achieved great success by paying attention to interface. Then in contrast to conventional contracts which try to pass on risk to subcontractors, Projects Organization Act Heathrow in Terminal 5 project adopted a different approach to maximize cooperation among suppliers and contractors for handling project complexity of an airport terminal. Now, benefits to construction. We are talking about what's benefits to construction. We take this into account. We'll say what to do with that. Yeah, that's the point here. At present, understanding of interface issues is still superficial. It is talked long back, but still I am sure that in civil construction we are still lacking. We call actually coordination, which is very important, and we may say that it's interface, that's all. Coordination is the same thing. If you genuinely do that, our coordination engineering, we call it a part of engineering. Engineering coordination, we say engineering coordination because construction means engineering. Importance of interface has not received wide acceptance. I have not seen any book so far that relates to coordination. I have not seen many talks or debates or webinars on coordination. I have not seen anything where people sit and talk together. Application potential of interface to construction, management, organization, and ultimate ways of incorporating interface into whole construction. You can say we say find ultimate ways of incorporating interface, or I can say in-depth coordination into whole construction process. Otherwise, it shall be unclear. Nevertheless, benefits of interface are outstanding. This has some, you can say, benefits to us. This gives benefits to us. What are those benefits? Now, first requirement is build a deep understanding of project complexity for project participants. Optimize design in terms of quality, compatibility, constructability, cost, risk, and function to meet customer needs. See, these points are discussed in, you can see, this phase 3 scenario. Now we can say deep understanding of project complexity for project participation. That's a big point. Who shall do it? Deep understanding. Point here is that buildings or structural projects in construction are very much specialized. You cannot give set of drawings to the foreman or supervisor to take care of this. Only that's not enough. Here we say participation. Whoever being member of team, small or big, whoever member, must have constructive approach. Constructive approach, though one has very difficult drawings, one has to do something else. We have to understand responsibilities of each other. That's very important point. Optimize design in terms of quality. Again, I say in quality system, I said design, and as I said there as well, there in quality system, and where I say designs, it's a quality everywhere. So that's design. Optimize design in terms of quality, compatibility, constructability, cost, risk, and function to meet customer concerns. We say quality, design in terms of quality. That's the question. This means design is not independent of quality. It must have adequate input of quality, which can make a difference in cost. We have to understand this point. Quality, time, cost. Compatibility. Compatibility between materials. Compatibility between drawings. Compatibility between, you can say, coordination and requirements. Constructability. If quality is absent, if information is absent, if compatibility is absent, constructability must be absent. Because every product is made. These points are very worth understanding. Again, it says constructability, cost, risk, and function to meet customer needs. Customer needs. That is also true. How far can we move? That's the point here. Compatibility and constructibility. I want to stress on these terms. Compatibility, constructibility. What is compatibility? Compatibility means there are two or three items, say there are two or three circuits, say, or there are equipment, there are machines which must work together. There must be compatibility. But compatibility of what? They are both designed separately. There is compatibility of, you can say, commitment or obligation, as we call it, an individual person. That commitment is of a machine. That there are some inputs, some parameters given to a machine by manufacturer, and those parameters have to work by electric supply. Or electrical compatibility with mechanical compatibility is a question mark. Electromechanical compatibility. That point you have to understand. Otherwise, it's too difficult to get into compatibility. And I will be back after some time because I have to talk on this. Meanwhile, you can read this. It's a very important one. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be back because I have to just stretch my legs. Sorry for this, but that's my requirement. I can't hold it. You may read this and you will find what to do with that. So I'll be back in some minutes time. Hold on please. we continue like this. Okay, we can continue. Sorry for delay. We continue this. So we say here we were talking complexity and we were talking compatibility of this. Sorry for delay again. I was saying about constructability and compatibility, which are very important factors in construction. Compatibility means compatibility with the machines. You can say EME, electromechanical services. For example, you bring some chiller machine or you bring some air handling unit. You have to buy that, and you cannot simply buy by thinking. You have to understand requirements. There are specifications for HVAC, that is heat, ventilation and air conditioning, and there are specifications for electrical components. Both are there in every construction project. You may say, I want to buy from Carrier, or I want to buy from you can say whatever France made, that is there's so many machines available, and you buy anything, it doesn't matter. You have choice, but you can't buy in name of just brand. You have to see how does it perform, and it performs to your requirement. Then you can say, okay, I bought this, I want to buy this machine, that machine to meet my requirement. My load is this, air conditioning load is this, and I want that, buy that. That's okay. The question is which machine you buy, this air handling unit or its package unit or it is chiller or whatever way you want to fix it. It must have some backing of electrical, it must have supplies, and that's electrical backing, and these machines must be compatible together. Once these recognize together, these talk together, these respond together. That's most important point. There is no clash on working of these. These should be functional together efficiently, and this should be pro-environment. That's requirement. So compatibility is that. Quality is one part. Quality is in production quality, manufacturing quality. It works there, but once this come into operation, come into functional mode, electromechanical, for example, air handling units which sucks airs from environment, and also it passes air to chiller for cooling, or you provide these two separately or you provide in form of package unit. It's same thing, but performance must be same. Compatibility should be acceptable, or you can say electrical supplies, electrical fittings or electrical equipment, cabling, and these fit in to mechanical requirement, to equipment requirement, and all designs must be that. If design is compatible, its functions will be compatible, and then we call this is part of electromechanical. It's not only in HVAC or HVAC electrical, it should be everywhere in all disciplines. Example, elevator, escalator, travelator. We use these equipments everywhere nowadays. Escalator, elevator, hoist, winch, or you may say lift. All these are dynamic equipment. These never work stationary. And similarly, they should function according to specifications. They should be manufactured according to specification. And these specifications are designed by manufacturers themselves. Because manufacturers' mechanical design is very important. It depends on its own construction, its own design, its own assembly. And of course, voltage and power input are standards. But even then, compatibility is a must. Your elevator, your lift must be compatible to your construction. Compatible means there is a requirement of surrounding area. There is a requirement of speed of elevator. There is a requirement of absence vibrations. There is a requirement of so many issues. It will be high speed, it may be low speed. Yes, all these should be design compatibilities and functional compatibilities. These are very complicated issues, but these are. And this is the responsibility of designers of their equipment. And if This is compatible to structure, compatible to electric supply, and compatible to meeting emergency requirement. This we have to understand. Because, for example, escalator and lifts, these cannot work during fire. This cannot work during seismic action. We have to think all that point. If we can say no, we have to keep them moving. If you want to keep your lift during emergency, during, you can say, calamity, for example, there is earthquake, you can't use it. Fire, you can't use it. This is a standard. You have to come out to stop this electric supply during earthquake action. But if you want to keep, no, I want to keep this is moving item. I can't stop this. But when there's no electric supply, this should automatically stop. You can't do anything. What to do in that case? If that's a requirement, then you need another source of supplying to this when electricity is off. But that's remote talk. Usually doesn't happen because people use staircase in that situation and they're panic. So let's go to constructability, because compatibility is too much everywhere. There are so many equipments used in buildings and structures. Travelators, for example, you might have seen on airports, just stand on their move instead of walking. It's called travelators. You can walk half kilometer, 250 meters on that, just stand on and walk. That's a kind of roller, you can say. It's kind of automatic roller. It keeps on rolling, and like crawler that brings your luggage, you can walk on this without walking. All these are very important factors. Means they should be compatible to themselves. First of all, their own performance within the assemblies, many parts in those machines. It must be clearly defined in specifications or in manufacturer standards, because safety is a requirement there, accidental free work is required there, and because these are dynamic, these are motions machine, this always cause risk. You have to understand that point very well, that just causing risk is no meaning. Now we talk of constructability in this IM interface work. Actually speaking, constructability itself is interface. Constructability means what? This means there is going on construction. There is going on something which has to construct. That something, or you can say that system, or you can say that support. Whatever is that support of equipment, that support of material, that support of human resources, that support of whatever work convention, must all have characteristics of, properties of construction. I am given some design, say you take this design, engineer, and construct it. Should I take that design blindly and go to construction? That's my question. I'm not saying I should speak against design, but it's my duty to make sure before starting design that design can work. This design is having all details, all requirements, nothing is missing that would stop my work. I should make sure before starting work or activity that whatever details I have, whatever details, plans, elevations, sections, structural, architectural services, coordination drawings, or other surveying details, I must make sure, if I am an engineer, experienced engineer, to read all related drawings, all discipline drawings, and to ensure that my work would not stop in between when I start it and I end it. Of course, there are procedures involved in that. Means materials you have to approve. You have to get approval of materials. You have to get approval of drawings. You have to buy them, procure them. All that will take. But first to start is that I am sure the designer has given me a package of various drawings so that I can work. And this can I only not in 1 minute, not just by going through drawings. I have to study them sincerely, all these discipline drawings, and see where clashes are. You will find plans, you will find elevations, you will find sections, you will find so many other details. What he meant that building or that whatever you can say machine, whatever you can say, it should be working successfully. I have to make sure that constructability is not a big issue here. Constructability can be done. I have such informations, and because I need all information for that, how to construct that, how to source it, how to procure materials. If I know everything, I can say that these drawings are compatible. We have to see, because in RCC work, which is very complex work these days, there are chances of misleads. There are chances of, because those sitting exclusive designs, maybe they do not go through various research papers or life changes. We may not see that. It's an important point to understand. We cannot simply blind ourselves. We cannot simply blind ourselves in that way. If we keep blinding, means we will blind forever. Then this quality, compatibility, constructivity, we have gone through, say, optimize them. Quality means that is different. Quality of drawings I'm talking, then I'm talking quality of works on site. When I say constructability, I have to see drawings. These drawings must give you a complete picture of what I have to do. There should not be missing even a single detail. And if I find that this detail misses, then I have to raise questions. That's my right and duty. Raise questions to find possible answers. And that's a very important point. Those answers may come from some codes, and we have to see our codes. Our codes will always file below, I know. But I'm talking of international level. The international level is progressing. So when I say, no, I've seen quality exists in drawings, and quality doesn't mean line work. It doesn't mean, it means complete comprehensive detail must be available in all drawings along with specifications. How to read drawing, how to learn this and that. We have to see this seriously. So constructability is that science and that engineering application that we have to apply it without any hitch. This means quality is proportional to compatibility. Compatibility is generally applicable to machines and not to civil works, you can say. And civil work is related to that machine. For example, I have to mount one, you can say, chiller unit on a roof, or I have to mount an air handling unit or package unit on certain roof. So how do I mount that? That's most important, because there is not one machine, maybe 2 machines, 3 machines, 4 machines are placed, and similar number of, because air handling units are placed or package units are placed. These will be installed either on ground or on, say, terrace somewhere. So what size of machine I am buying and what is required for calculation by calculations, how many users are there, these we have to see and we have to calculate. That's called mechanical load calculation, AC load calculation. So that's the kind of quality in design. It's not a structural engineer responsible for that. I can't say it's mechanical engineer, air conditioning engineer, electrical engineer who are responsible for that. They have to detail out that. And I have to see also that in those structural drawings, these are given input. Means on roof which you are saying, what type of crane will be required for this, that should be written into. So we can say constructability means design is quality one, it is compatible, nothing is missing, and it is constructable. And these three, quality plus quality of designs plus quality of works plus relation among these machines, working relations, successful relations, and of course total constructability, which involve cost, which involve risk, and which involve function to meet customer needs. That is basics here. This constructability point has been repeated many times in my past discussions because this is big issue. If you want to waste time, you can waste time easily by making drawings which are not worth constructing. If I raise questions in drawings 20 times, 30 times, and it takes answer to come, I will waste my time. I will waste that, but we are bound to do that. And when it comes to compatibility with machines, sometimes what happens, say there is one AC unit, split unit inside room, outside no problem, you have enough space. Maybe there's sometime outside problem too, but external units, internal unit is there, and you don't have space for that, even on wall. So that means there's some problem. Either your size of unit is big one, or you have less space, you did not care during planning. Your architect or your structural engineer didn't notice that, and then it can't fit in. So there is no continuity of work, and there is no quality work, and there is no constructability. Both are missing. I don't blame that. Design is design, but it was not cared for. A vision was not applied. So these three, therefore, relate to cost of work, risk, and this is risk. Suppose your purchase item cannot apply with, cannot be installed. Risk, and you can say function to meet customer needs. You do not meet a customer's need. And customer means user, poor user. You did not meet our needs, and that's important item here. We should have. It's very important. Now, cost, we say, if we have to buy another material, another machine for that, it's cost factor. Also, we waste time on that, there's risk of time, and work is not complete. This very important point that we have to optimize design in terms of quality, in terms of compatibility, in terms of constructability or buildability, in terms of cost, in terms of risk, in terms of function, and final destination is final needs of customer. So we can say, based on this, cost is very important one. You cannot escalate your budget. If you escalate, you can't complete project. If employer says, I'm not going to do anything on this, so from where you will finish this project, that's question of risk. Either you abandon those items, you don't do those items, then work is incomplete. It's not giving it service. Or you have some other problem. Then you come to improve project planning. Improve project planning by avoiding, minimizing, or eliminating potentials for interface issues in advance. This is called planning. Planning means you cannot move closing your eyes. You can't move. We have to open our eyes to move. And if we don't open our eyes shall close our minds. If I don't open my eyes and I walk on road, I cross some road, closing my eyes, you know result. What shall we do? So we have to plan something. Though we planned something, we did not plan perfectly. We failed to plan professionally. So now it says improve project planning by avoiding, minimizing, or eliminating potentials for interface issue in advance. That's important. At time of approval of materials, we did not take care of these points, and just based on certain incomplete information. I submitted items and got comments in many items, one time, second time. And then gradually we went on increasing. So we have to see that perfect planning is a must, and planning can be done by those who have experience. You cannot just say fresh engineer coming out of university, you can sit on, oh, come on, do planning. Actually, that's where problem lies in. Now, engineers, rather than studying engineering planning, they want to do HRD planning. We know our HRD was female. Why that planning is important? So my point of view is, if you do not understand planning and you are a planner, then you are in wrong position. Planning by experienced people based on facts, based on realities in life. So my point of view is that you have to spend some time on planning and some time of experience, and some time you have to think of how shall I do work. That's more important. If I am sitting on site, I am taking responsibility of this work, and sitting without there and sitting at home or sitting where you're working, your offices, where it is self. So planning is very important. If you know activities, you know sequences, you can avoid many problems. You can understand sitting in your office where shall be problem in interface, where shall be problem in coordination, and how shall we get this material. The time is very short. In such a situation, client understands always. This is a very important point. Minimizing, eliminating potentials for interface issues in time. So best planning or better planning, can save you from interface. Bad planning, bad interface. We'll come to other one, that's work packaging and subcontracting to reduce project complexity. Work packaging and to avoid continuum interface issues. This is a very important point we discussed before also, but we understood what we are talking of. It's a point here. Work packaging and subcontracting. What does it mean? Do we understand that point? That we have to see, we have to find this. Work packaging and subcontracting to reduce project. First of all, many of you must understand what is work packaging and what is subcontracting. If you understand that, this line you can understand very well. What is work package? I can say, let us say, there is a difference in work package and project. There may be many work packages in project. For example, HVAC work package, electrical work package. There will be plumbing work package, or we can say electrical plus plumbing plus mechanical work package. We can say we will take these three together and move. And somebody says, no, we don't want to take these three and move. What we want to do? You give me two, I'll take three. It's like that. Work packages, a manager or a project engineer shall like to save cost. And what he thinks, when somebody thinks, if I give major items to someone else, or I want to buy these machines and pay him, or otherwise let him buy everything, but I these two disciplines make separately. For example, I pay some part of this to this contractor, to other contractor, or somebody say, no, I want to give complete electromechanical to one party. There is no hard and fast rule on this, because we have to complete project and we need all these systems in that project. Sometimes I say, okay, I give this plumbing work to you, but seats and all that I will buy and fix. This is you are responsible for workers. It happens, it's not only in electric mechanical services, in, you may say, items, the underground items, So we have to see these 2 points. Work packages, if it's very expensive or it's not expensive, or we say no, I will do this and you will do this, means we divide responsibility. And that's the point where we should say we divide responsibility, but we will do foundations ourselves. It's just give us machine. You may say like this. It happens in general. Sale work not by you, by others. This item by others, this item by others. It's a practice where quoting part is right like this on bills. This by others, this ours, this by others. Means it keeps on confusing. We just keep searching which our and which is in our scope, which is in subcontractor scope. Just we keep on. But what happens when there's something missing? And that subcontractor says, no, this is not item. It's not item. Maybe there are very small items, 10 items costing even 1%. It's not my scope. You arrange yourself. That time I find problem. And I don't care for that when it's designed, but later on during execution time, I find it's a problematic answer. That's really point where we have to concern with. That's the point that we have to concern with, because importance lies in what should be done as fast as possible, as efficient as possible. That lies in our interest. When I am in charge of a project, my interest should be that. That's an important point, I understand. So when I say I can do this work, but I don't have source, and I can do that particular resource, we have to go forward and find solution. So here, I want to give package to one party. That's my preference. But somebody says, no, I won't give him package. I will give him 70% of this. 30% I want to do through myself. Or that party says, no, I'll give all these omitted items and these items which belongs with, I'll give them to this person to have separately. But that item must be done. Why it is bad? You can't say no. Then you can say, if we have this subcontracting and not being resolved, we can resolve many complexities because these are technical items. So many competencies are there. Everybody cannot understand signal diagram. Then we go to, if I want to do work as fast as possible, then I have to think on that. I have to rather help contractor, subcontractor. I need not say anything. Then we go to build and maintain desirable relationship and interaction channels among project participants and achieve timely communication, coordination and cooperation. This is very important point because here many relations are involved. Then I say it is build and maintain desirable relationship. Relationship, that is the important point. Relationship, what is that? Build and maintain desirable relationship. and interaction channels among project participants to achieve timely communication, coordination, and cooperation. Now, participants is one point. We have to create and maintain relationships, working relationships. These are not personal relationships, and if are personal, that's better. We have to build and maintain desirable relations. So what does it mean? Desirable. Desirable means professionally working relations, mandatory relations. Even if you don't like each other, you have to maintain relation to an extent. Profession is concerned, work is concerned, contract is concerned. You may be working in same company, organization with different divisions, or you may be working with subcontracting world, or you may be working with some other company, or you may be part of joint venture, or you may be part of collaboration, whatever. These relationships automatically develop. You have to accept that. You have to accept that relationship. You cannot say no because you are paid for that acceptance. And there should be interaction channels among project participants. There may be thousands of participants, there may be 100 participants, there may be few companies involved, there may be few organizations involved, and there will be internal external factors which are important for a project, like statutory bodies, NGOs, mandatory government bodies, or manufacturing units, or market people, or whatever you can say, international relations you may have. So these relationships do not fall in your competency, but you have to move on those tracks, and that is very important point. You have to go with everybody. If you are in charge, if you are project leader, then it's more important for you to handle that. And if you are a part of participants only, not in charge, then also in that case you have to move with them as self-motivated person, self-initiator, and everybody should be self-initiator there, because these channels sometimes work, these channels sometimes keep silent, but continuity is a must. Otherwise, there shall be lapse in interaction, there shall be lapse in communication, there shall be lapse in time, there shall be lapse in coordination, and there shall be lapse in cooperation. And all these lapses and lapses can form a continuous chain of failure or unsuccessful delivery of whatever is expected. So we can say build and maintain desirable relationship and interaction channels among project participants to achieve timely communication, coordination, and cooperation. And in fact, these are all communication and coordination. You deal with whomsoever. You deal with upper level, or you deal with lower level, or you deal with your level. And there are many people at your level, there are many people at senior level, all over among these coordinations. But remember, only talking is not enough. Make a mark. Only talking shall not give any result. Only talking doesn't work there. That's the main point here. If you say, no, I will talk, everybody talks. That's the problem. And I've seen it's very difficult for all participants except 1 or 2% that they keep recording all this. You talk 100 words and you record 1 word. What's meaning of that? Got my point. When you talk 100 words, hardly there will be 10 to 15 words which are meaningful. Others are just supporting. You can try yourself. You speak something on some subject for, say, 5 minutes, you speak 100 words, 200 words, and then find out what was importance in those. All can't be importance, all can't be. So point is, there should be someone to make record of these, and that we say minute. Communication is backbone of coordination, and coordination is backbone of participation, and that participation constitutes channel, interactive channel. Cooperation is ultimate end. If all these people communicate, coordinate, and cooperate, I think problems hardly exist there that can be solved. So otherwise you can say this build and maintain desirable relations is nothing more than coordination, real coordination, written coordination status, so that references can be made in future. There should be no hesitation in requesting someone, please, I'm going to record this. You can't say that. You have to record it. If you record it officially, better you send it to others also. Then say now standardize. Standardize handling processes. Standardize handling processes and workflows for various types of interfaces in construction projects and reduce uncertainties. Read it. Standardize means constitute standards how to handle these processes. Standardize handling processes, methods, how to handle them, and make chart of workflows. Yes, we say flow chart for various types of interfaces in construction projects and reduce uncertainties. Reduce uncertainties. It means whatever we do on projects, construction projects, if we are not sure, if I'm not certain, and I do it, what shall happen? If I'm not certain of process, I just do it, start it. I'll say, okay, we'll see later on when you are trapped. It's childish, I can say. It's childish. Either I should try first as much as possible and think on or find some resources to know more about that. I should not touch it. Means, if I don't understand procedure, if I don't understand process, there is no way that I can follow it, I can lead that. I should understand that. That is important. And if I understand some process, it's better for me. I'm electrical engineer, I'm mechanical engineer, I'm chemical engineer, I'm someone else. What I understand, I should make in a circuit, make as a flow chart. This flow chart shall tell me what I started and where did I go. Now we say enable a dynamic, what I said here, process work. Yes, I'm sorry I did not complete that one. If I draw incomplete process chart workflow, I shall certainly mishandle. Construction requires conception, just like I say engineering requires conception. If you study engineering, maybe you study or someone else, and if you don't understand even how you drive this formula or how this formula came up, you miss that one and you never understand that. Then you can use formula, but you cannot understand how to handle this. Engineering requires a concept. clear concept, particularly engineering, because it's based on intellectual application. What I mean here is, whatever you do, you must be clear with that this should be done this way. And if you have done that in your life, it's fine, it's okay. You do that. If you learned, you don't have knowledge of that, you either go to manufacturer of that machine, or you go to some senior to find solution, and then whatever is possible among the solution, you can buy them, restore them. Procedure means clear cut. If I write some procedure and I don't know sequence, what's meaning of writing? I can say, oh, by chance I put steel first, I put reinforcement first and then do shutters in slab. This is complete nonsense. This may be possible in foundations, but not in slab. That point we must understand. That's why I say construction projects must be very, very responsive, and everybody cannot do them. There can people who can shout, but this is all what I say method statement. This is, you can say, a part of method statement I'm talking. If method statement, even if you start writing, it will tell you here your information. Once you chart out your procedure, your method, I think you'll be at freedom. You'll be at freedom. And if you need some change, you can change also. There's no problem. Then enable a dynamic and well-coordinated construction project delivery system when responding to changes. Enable, you can say enable what's it saying? Enable a dynamic and well coordinated construction project delivery system when responding to changes. Dynamic, well coordinated construction project delivery system when responding to changes. This means you have to write protocols for all coordinations, all relations, all dynamic activities, stationary activities, and they should be coordinated, means they should not miss anything. They should not miss responsibility of those people who are responsible for this, who are liable for this, and superfluity also avoided. We don't want extra efforts for nothing, because job description is fixed and work should be done according to job descriptions. You can say, okay, we have established coordinated construction system we may establish that rather than leaving it to some person, though it's very difficult because construction is straightforward and we know what we have to do. But for sake of this program, a dynamic and well coordinated system, construction project delivery must be responded and change, and we can do that. But I think it depends from case to case. It's not in construction commonly applicable or uniformly applicable. It's from case to case. Construction project delivery depends on efforts. Then identify and record good practices in dealing with project complexity and reapply them in future projects. Well, it's automatic when you work on each and every system. There are many systems and structures and buildings and projects, and there are many ways, many methods, many queries. You have collection of all those, and of course then you will say this is lesson learned, not one lesson, not two lessons, maybe every month or maybe in every meeting, or maybe at end of project when you review this, or you can start making dossiers of submission, or you are going to prepare for completion or closing of that. You'll find so many submissions on your own. You submit to yourself and then make a record that we missed that, we made this mistake, we made that error, and there was a procedure to find that, and we learned from that. This mistake avoided if I had taken this role, or this have done that way. So that's what we call it, identification and record good practices. So that lesson learned for future, it can become a reference document for your organization, for yourself, even if you're not I say you're doing independent practice as a consultant. In that case also you can say I got acknowledgement myself that if I had done this it would have been different. So those can be say lessons learned, how complexities to be resolved or were resolved, then how to do again, and with what way, with what efficiency. That point must be considered. That is very important point. That must be considered like that. And that, then after you can say there's so many other activities depends on project. And sometimes steel fixing itself is a very big issue. Cutting and bending of steel, fixing, placing, and handling this, and form work. And also these are very elementary items telling you the structure, but there are many other ways. Tiling, for example, false ceiling, for example, in a coordination. I'm going to fix flooring in my room, say this room, and there are many rooms we have to for it. What we should do? We should make a plan for that. Can you make a plan? Question is that. You laugh and say, oh, he's saying I'm going to do tiling and flooring. I should make a plan for that. What does it mean? Or I'm going to work on tiling on this elevation, then I must have a plan for that. People may laugh. What is this? I ask mason and this side of tile 200 by 200, they'll go on fixing. That's okay, that will go on fixing. But we should have a plan for that. What we want to do specifically for this, reason being that we have to consider many factors. Now, for example, false ceiling, whatever type. Now I want to enter a room. I'm taking architectural decoration factor. I'm entering a room. My eyes may go to ceiling or my eyes may go to floor, one of two. If my end of floor is near some cupboard or near some shelf, it's different view, but if it's clear wall, there's no hindrance to junction of wall and floor opposite when I enter. And I like to see a full tile there. I won't like to see cut tile there. This means when I enter a room at threshold of door, wall, I may not see because I enter the room and that portion, if the cut wall, cut tie is placed, it will do. I'm not going to see that directly. So when I see directly, I have a design to follow that. It is nothing to do this, and it is dynamic work. It's just an example I'm giving you. When I say, okay, I want to see tiles, I want to enter a room, ceiling is there, and false ceiling, I have made this drawing, and I call it coordinated ceiling drawing, reflected ceiling drawing. We call it a reflected ceiling drawing, means ceiling that will be reflected out is placed and installed in. I call it reflected ceiling plan. What I want to see, same thing. If I say, oh, I entered this room, this direction, my eyes go into ceiling. Where my eyes are focused, that portion should be complete tiles, no cut tiles. In opposite direction, there will be cut tiles if it's required. There can be consideration like this. It depends from your own view. Means it's better if there are no cut tiles. This is what architect thinks. That's what I'm saying. But to understand like this, what we have to do. Same thing for tiling, elevation and walls. We have to fix it. What's best way? Means which is best one way. That point you have to understand. Means there can be many such examples. It's not only that. How can I fix my WC if I have space? How far should we claim this? Easily, you can use that room. That's point. That's point of concern. So that's why I'm trying to give points which are solid and important. I've worked on this many times, and also I still remember that we did some wall in a shooting range, and solo RCC long wall, 300 meters or more. There, when we asked English architect, how we do this? Then I went to architect, see what finishes you want to suggest on this. He said, it's written, it's architectural finish. And what does it mean? Then he said, architectural, you want to see this, you don't see plaster on that, but it's an architectural effect on that. Okay? What? So he gave a design of form. On this form, you do like this, and you put some planks on these walls. So in this case, I say, okay, I agree with that. So you use some planks on this form. Plain planks, edges clear, butting each other without any gap. I want to see that in elevation of wall, symmetrically, well designed. Oh, it's not much more work than we thought of. I just thought of some plywood in that. It took a lot of time on decoration work, but results were achievable. Extremely important. We want to see, let's go further, then let's not do this. After reviewing past research work and industry practices, this Cameron says, after reviewing past research work and industry practices, this paper found that applicable interface strategies applicable interface strategies or tools are limited and also inadequate for a holistic incorporation of IM into construction world. However, it was noticed that aforementioned interface benefits can greatly help applications of lean construction and an APM in terms of project complexities. Therefore, we can say, however, it was noticed that aforementioned benefits can greatly help application of lean construction and APM in terms of project complexity. In turn, lean and APM can also improve interface to some degree. Thus, good approach to incorporate interface with these two emerging philosophies in this following session. Then we go to lean construction, let us say. Lean construction. No, it's not. So when I say lean construction here, it's all same, you can say lean production philosophy is very old. It's spread to other parts of the world. It was in Japan. It actually says keep production system and organization simple. Production system and organization simple and avoid waste. Try to avoid waste. Now compared with Agile, lean is more appropriate for efficiency and cost reduction while still meeting customer needs. Typical lean style is we can see, if we compare with agile, we have to improve it and we have to avoid wastage of material, and that's very important in this. And that can be done. Customers' needs can be met even then, because material is saved, cost is reduced. So you can say completely agile lean is more appropriate, because cost cutting or cost reduction while still meeting requirements. And typical lean strategies include total quality control. Total quality control that we are talking of. We are stressing on total quality control, and that's very important. And that is total quality control and TQC, just in time, means we have to see typical lean strategies, total quality control, and just in time is always to the time. Visual management, re-engineering, employee involvement, multi-skill and or self-directed teams designed for assembly, manufacturability, constructability and manufacturability, and maybe designability. I will say in literature, actually it's covering everything. So typical lean strategies include total quality control management. Say time is involved, supervision, visual is involved, and re-engineering is also important. Employees participation, multi-skilled and self-directed teams, designed for assembly and manufacturability. Assembly and manufacturability is a very important point. We are saying total quality system, total quality management, ISO 9000 or Sigma, where now manager also responsible, organization is also responsible. Then you can say time is important. Time means cost. If we move time is important, and cost is important, and supervision is important. Then you can say re-engineering is important, employee involvement, multi-risk, and say all self-directed teams, designs for assembly, manufacturability, and theories and techniques. In literature, there are two major contributions concerning lean construction. That is, construction is a series of value-adding and non-value-adding activities. This view contributes to transformation. Let's say lean construction means value addition is important. Contributions, two major contributions: value adding and non-value adding activities. This wave contributes to transformation flow value theory. He views construction as a continuous flow of materials and information instead of only conversion activities. This continuation is material and information, continuous flow of material and information instead of only conversion activities. Now, there may be principles, of course, behind this. Those are important probably, but more important is what we can evolve. That's more important, what we can evolve with that. And what we can evolve out of that, that's a very important point. These are how flow process, to direct how flow processes should be designed, controlled and improved in practice. These principles implicitly these processes we say process problems, principles implicitly define flow process problems such as complexity, transparency, intransparency, and segmented control. Flow process should be designed, controlled, and improved in practice. These principles implicitly define flow process problems such as complexity, intransparency, and segmental control. Other contribution are in last planner, focusing on that point comes in here. These principles implicitly define flow process problems such as complexity, transparency, intransparency, and segmented control. Other contribution is last planner, which focus on construction processes. Now, this method of last planner employs 3 steps: master schedule, look ahead plan, last plan. Master schedule, look ahead plan, and last planner. Master schedule, identifying all work packages. You can say master schedule, identifying all work packages, that's all work packages, whatever contained in that project, and their sequence for job in general. That's master schedule. What should be done? Then 5 to 8 weeks look ahead, ensuring sound work packages for which all constraints are removed. What can be done? Just 5 to 8 words. Clear package, one by one. And last planner. So master schedule, sound planner. So one is master schedule, then it is 5 to 8 weeks look ahead, and then last planner. Last planner is weekly work planning, specifying what will be done at job site. All last step, technique of PPC, percentage planned completed. This should be weekly planning, and this is at last step technique for PPC, percentage plan completed, and this is tool measuring plan reliability, percentage plan complete, and this is percentage plan complete. A tool measuring plan reliability is used. Last planner has proved to be very useful tool for organization of construction processes, monitoring of planning efficiency, stabilization of workflows, and improvement of productivity. Although these two contributions have achieved great accomplishments, and then you can say their applications can say still face some difficulties. One example is use of just-in-time logistics in construction. Unreliable work planning compromises benefits of efficient material flows, resulting poor project performance. Contracts advantages of lean application, resulting poor performance. In following, so we'll take it later on. Now see you, time is much. It's already 6:30, so I think we should now keep a watch on to close this Monday, and I think we should be a little worried about how to move further. So I'll take your leave, dear friends. Now I'll take your leave. I hope you got something from it. I'm very slow now because I want to use documents for your reference, and sometimes I take direct documents without even pre-study, and I study them during talk. It doesn't matter as far as it's understood, because sometimes experience tells you something, immediately you take care of that, and that's where it's better in each and every respect. We'll continue with this talks next time, keeping abreast. COVID-19 doesn't get much serious, and I'm very much concerned, all like you all are, about COVID-19, because this is killing our country, and it's going to immense scales, as Lancet has predicted. 1 million deaths. They say 1 million deaths up to August, July end. Maybe in 2 months they predicted 1 million deaths. Already 2.2 million has gone. 0.8 million is 4 lakh death monthly means 10 to 12,000 deaths monthly. 15,000 maybe. Nobody knows what's going to happen. It's really astonishing, you can say. What's happening is, of course, very, very. That's the reason only that I covered some talk in COVID-19. Engineers are not taking care of this. They should have. I didn't find engineering institutions all over this country who conduct webinar. They're not interested in this. I can't say reason for that, but it's first duty to talk of safety, health, and environment. But we do not do that, unfortunately. What to say more than this? I don't understand.